What the poop, guys? Today we're talking about poop. Next, we're moving on to constipation. We've been conditioned by cereal and supplement companies to think it's normal to poop often and you need to poop big. Poop big or go home, right? You may be under the impression that you need to poop 3 or more times a day to be healthy, but there are not any studies that I found that correlate frequent pooping and positive health. Let's define constipation quickly. Lack of frequent pooping or just pooping a small amount is not constipation. Constipation is pain and strain when pooping, resulting in hard, lumpy poops and is often associated with stomach cramping. Constipation happens when the body needs to poop, but it's not. This is a problem both because of the pain and strain aspect, but also because when waste products sit in our digestive tract, toxins that the body is trying to expel can be reabsorbed. Constipation typically results in poops that look like the top part of the Bristol stool chart. We talked about fiber first. With the diarrhea, constipation can also be caused by too much fiber. Fiber is just an irritant. We don't digest it. Our bodies don't always like it. Cutting out fiber can cutting out fiber and including healthy fats, including healthy proteins, can really treat and solve a lot of the digestive problems. It's really kind of frustrating to me because a lot of diverticulitis, IBS, all of that stuff, they'll tell people to eat fiber. They say eat healthy grains, eat this kind of fiber, eat this kind of starch. And if you look at the studies, there's no study saying that stuff helps people with those digestive problems. And so you can have whatever your doctor diagnosed you with this specific digestive problem. In general, the treatment is the same for all of them. And really, because of the digestion body connection, if you have any chronic condition, if you can heal your gut, which is pretty much what we're talking about by having perfect poops, you can heal a lot of them, whether it's mental health or it's joint pain or any of those. And that's why so many people are finding so much success on the seemingly odd and extreme diet, which is the carnivore diet. It eliminates fiber, it eliminates sugar, it eliminates oxalates, it eliminates all this stuff that's bothering your digestive system. They did a study in dogs, and this is kind of gross, but we're talking about gross stuff anyway. They did a study in dogs, and somehow there was meat in these dogs, and these dogs were not alive. And they checked the meat I think 3 or 4 days later, and there was no peristalsis, there was no digestion happening, but the stomach acid alone in these dogs had dissolved this meat. And so this is what we're looking for, is we want stuff that's digested easily, that we're easily dissolving, and then as it transitions through, your body can pull out the nutrients that it needs from this dissolved slurry of highly nutrient dense food. So I know that fiber is commonly prescribed for constipation, but again, in that study that I found where they studied 30 or 40 people who had chronic constipation as well, by giving them a no fiber or very low fiber diet, depending on what they could comply with, the less fiber they had, the less constipation they had. So fiber does increase bulk, and so it increases the size of your stool, but it is not increasing how easy it is to go, and it's not decreasing the cramping, and it's not making the consistency better. So it's still in there. You're still probably not evacuating fully. It's not good for you. Another cause of constipation, and this is one that carnivore and keto people are going to want to watch, is not having enough magnesium, electrolytes, water, or fat. And so having those electrolytes are really important for muscle contraction. And your digestive system has all of these muscles. You're not in charge of them. I can't remember what that is. It's parasympathetic. I don't know. I'm sure you guys will correct me in the comments. But you have this automatic process of your digestive system that as long as you're alive, your digestive system is doing its thing. If your magnesium, potassium, sodium, if any of those are out of whack, your muscles have a harder time. That's why you'll get Charlie horses in your legs, or your body will just have lethargy. It just slows down because it knows you need more electrolytes to have your muscles fire properly. So lack of electrolytes can cause constipation. Lack of water, you do require water and you don't require tons and tons of water. So that's not a one-step solution. You can't just drink a ton of water if something else in your body is off, your microbiome or lack of electrolytes is off. You can't just drink a ton of water and think that's going to fix it. But if you are low on water and you have constipation, water is definitely something to try increasing and see how you feel. So lack of fat can just kind of lubricate everything, even if there's just a little bit that you're not digesting and it's kind of lubricating everything as it goes through. That's a great way to solve constipation, is check how much fat you're eating. The last one, and this is a little more complex, is the gut flora rebalancing, and this is what we talked about with diarrhea as well. If you've got gut flora in your body that are dying off super quickly, they might just stop things up for a little bit, and you can help this along with a probiotic that might be able to balance it. You can be patient. You can do an enema, which I know those are not in vogue right now, but they definitely have been a traditional way to get that stuff out. And again, they are recommended in the GAPS book by Dr. Natasha as a way to, if your body is just like adjusting and it gets stopped up with constipation as all that stuff's dying off, an enema can get that out, and then your digestive system is going to work normally. Another solution to constipation, and this is kind of obvious, but it's worth mentioning, is having a consistent toilet routine. So your body, just like we like consistency, like you can train your hunger hormones to expect meals at certain times a day. That's what a lot of us do with intermittent fasting. You can train your body to sleep. Like we all know that that's good sleep hygiene. It's easier to go to sleep at the same time every night and wake up at a similar time in the morning. Same thing with pooping. If you're having pooping problems, go ahead and do what you can to get yourself on a schedule. And if that has to be like drinking coffee for a while so that you can get everything moving on a schedule that works for you, that you can stick with, your body will just appreciate it. And so a consistent pooping routine is another easy, look at all these remedies that are super cheap, pretty much free, and actually biologically appropriate remedies. So that is another remedy for not pooping. And again, just to reiterate, constipation is not lack of volume or lack of frequency. It is the hard stools and it's straining. So a lot of times on carnivore, because we're pretty much only eating food that we digest completely, what ends up not being digested is like maybe a little bit from our food. And then it's a lot of like the red blood cells that aren't good anymore. Your body gets rid of them through your poop. And so people that are fasting or people that are on carnivore are not going to poop every day. There's just not the bulk there. And so don't be alarmed. As long as you don't feel bloated and as long as you don't have like pain and cramping, and as long as your stools aren't super hard when they come out, that's not constipation. So constipation that we want to avoid is the hard stools and the cramping and the having to strain to get them out.